Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you this morning here. Bitcoin developed by the NSA, confirmed as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to show it to you. Coinbase wins against the SEC. Well, one lawyer thinks so, and we're going to talk about it. Former CFTC chairman, ladies and gentlemen, does he say XRP futures equal XRP a commodity, not a security? Oh, I think that he does. XRP Ledger hits a milestone. You're going to want it. Whales are buying up XRP while we could be staring down the barrel of a XRP $10 diamond pattern. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. The cryptocurrency market cap is $1.22 trillion. It's off by 0.1%. And I want to show you this right now because take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Someone has done it. Go to XRP LHQ. And you can get everything XRP ecosystem. I am so happy to announce that this has been done. I tell you something, go check it out. Watch this. First of all, we can see the XRP price index right here. We can see the top coins in this space. Bitcoin 30,200 plus, Ethereum 1866 and change. Tether market cap is 83.3 billion plus right now. XRP is 47 cents and we're off by 2.93 on the 7-day. But let me tell you, there's so much more inside of this because you can go to this site, XRP LHQ, and see all of the major projects and companies surrounding the XRP ecosystem. And if you are a company, you can click this button and learn how to promote here right on this front page. This is the yellow pages for XRP Ledger and the ecosystem alike. I tell you, the XRP rich list is here, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see the rich list and all the information and wallets to go with it? Hello, come on in. You want to go to the XRP calculator and fool around with some numbers and find out exactly what the price of XRP would be based on what you put in here as far as the trillions of dollars moving across the network? It's all in one place. Finally, someone has done it, and I love it. Absolutely love it, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you check this out, xrplhq.com. I'll have the link underneath the video. Wow. Well, here's some more wow, ladies and gentlemen, and we've been saying it. I only know of one other person out here in the YouTube world along with me that have been saying this, that Bitcoin is a government psyop. And I think you're going to find out evidence of it today. Shout out to Merlin Crypto Future Invest for this clip. Listen to what this gentleman says right here.
For you kids, SHA256. You know what SHA256 is? It's the algorithm that is behind the encryption of Bitcoin. Do you know who invented SHA256? NSA. Look that up. Think about that. The government created the encryption that Bitcoin uses. In fact, the government created the entire internet. I'm just saying, if you're going to release something to the world or let it be released to the world, and you're the creator of everything, just a few things to think about.
Well, there you have it. And I tell you, you know, when he said look it up, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do exactly that. SHA256, part of the SHA-2 group of hash algorithms first created by the NSA in 2001 as successor to SHA-1. SHA-256 is a patented cryptographic hash function. The patent, US 6829355B2, for the SHA-256 algorithm was filed by the NSA on March 5th, 2001, listing Glenn M. Lilly as the inventor. Well, there's one of your Satoshis right there, isn't it? The patent was granted and published on December 7th, 2004. As we know, 2008, 2009 is when Bitcoin was introduced. The whole libertarian movement has now been debunked. It is no more a speculative thought on this channel, as I have thought for so long. It is confirmed at my house. I'm not trying to sell a used car. Believe it, don't believe it, it's still true. What you own with Bitcoin is a government operation. And what do we know about government operations? What do we know about money? What do we know about fiat money, national dollar money? I'll tell you what we know. We know the same thing Brad Garlinghouse told us at the World Economic Forum in 2022. They'll roll out the tanks before they let you have control of your own money.
If you approach the regulators with you need to adapt to us, I mean, that is dead on arrival. Like in my experience, and globally, and frankly, even here in Davos, meeting with financial regulators in all kinds of countries, I think we have to acknowledge. Ben Bernanke, the former head of the U.S. Fed, came to one of Ripple's customer events, and one of the things he said is, countries will not give up their ability to control monetary supply. They will roll tanks into the streets first because it's giving up sovereignty.
Yep.
Now, we can debate whether or not some countries at the longer tail ever had control of their money supply. But the G20, I think I agree with Jeremy that cash is anonymous and private and all those things. But if you ever walk into the bank and ask to withdraw $20,000 of cash, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. At least.
Oh, he's absolutely right, too. Shout out to Plan XRP for that little reminder, that clip here. Meta Lawman now says that Coinbase is likely to win the major doctrine questions argument, either at district court or during an appeal. Now, you're going to want to see all of this because we love when the SEC gets their butt handed to them. So let's go ahead and give a look at this. First of all, shout out to James Murphy, who is the Meta Lawman on Twitter, and another brilliant legal analyst out there helping all of us understand what's taking place. He says here that the SEC's arguments are not particularly strong. In its letter, the regulator alleged that Coinbase, with its string of sophisticated lawyers, understood that the securities law could apply to its business. In other words, Coinbase was well aware that it could be potentially breaking securities law by operating as per the SEC. Well, the SEC submitted its letter in response to Coinbase seeking permission to file a motion for judgment on pleadings on June 28th. The market watchdog said it will oppose any such motion if the court permits Coinbase to file. Murphy explained, while the SEC will oppose the motion, it will not try to delay the consideration of the issues raised by Coinbase. This means there is at least some hope of a prompt resolution of the case. Weak arguments are, Murphy believes that the SEC's arguments against Coinbase are weak because it cited the case of the SEC versus Library. Among a few others in its letter, in the case which the SEC won in November of 22, token issuer Library was charged with offering crypto as unregistered securities. In the SEC versus Library case, the court drew no distinction between investors who bought crypto directly from the issuer and those who purchased it on a secondary trading platform. As per the SEC's letter, the regulator uses the case to support its argument that a crypto security does not cease to be a security simply because it's being traded on a secondary platform like Coinbase. However, according to Murphy, the judge in the cited case did not rule that the tokens traded on secondary platforms are securities. Therefore, the case does not sufficiently support the SEC's argument, Murphy believes. He says the SEC relies on an inapplicable case out of Connecticut that was brought against the issuer of a token, not against a secondary trading platform. The major questions doctrine refers to the Supreme Court ruling that if a regulatory agency seeks to decide an issue of major national importance, the agency's actions must be supported by clear authorization from Congress. Coinbase's defense uses the major questions doctrine to indicate that the SEC does not have congressional authorization for its actions. This could be massive, ladies and gentlemen. In its filing, Coinbase has cited the remarks of SEC Chief Gary Gensler in front of Congress in 2021 to support its case. In May of 21, Gensler testified that the SEC did not have the statutory authority to regulate crypto exchanges, as per the Coinbase filing. Gensler added that only Congress could address the regulatory gaps since the exchanges do not have a regulatory framework. Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal tweeted on July 8th that the SEC's letter was more of the same, ignoring questions of importance. Grewal noted that the SEC did not respond to Gensler's 21 comments and ignored the clear and unmistakable warnings of the Supreme Court just last week against regulatory overreach in major questions reserved to Congress. It says, it is likely, in my view, James Murphy says, that Coinbase will eventually prevail in the major questions doctrine argument, either at district court level or on appeal. And in 3 days, July 13th, a pre-motion conference is scheduled for the case. So we will see what goes on there, but it does look like Coinbase has got the SEC back on its heels. And don't forget right here, it is John Deaton who told all of us that we know what is happening here. This is using transparency against the actual companies like Ripple. This is one of the reasons I'm so excited to follow what happens with the Coinbase case, because this is what the SEC does. They use the transparency, your willingness to come in and register or come in and at least have a conversation, and then they turn around and gather information and then turn around and use it against you. This has got to be stopped, ladies and gentlemen. And how many days are we away now from actually getting that decision in the SEC versus Ripple? We are waiting very patiently, Judge Torres. We know that you've got a serious schedule and a serious case on your hands here. We cannot wait for you. But until then, let's listen to this. This is Tim Massad, the former CFTC chairman, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what Tim Massad just said? He said if there are futures on an asset, it's a commodity. If there is a yield earned, it's a security. So something can be a commodity and a security depending on how it's packaged, right? So I want you to hear it for yourself, because what we've learned is and look, for years, not just here on this platform, but we've learned for years that not just Binance has XRP options and futures, but there are XRP futures contracts out there that you can participate in. And I want you to hear Tim Massad say it for himself.
You got to be fish or fowl. I mean, can something be both a security as well as a commodity, or does it have to go one way?
David. It can be both. And that's something, it's an excellent question, David. That is something that people don't understand. Let me give you a simple example of that. The chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has said Tether is a commodity. And he's right, because there are futures contracts traded on Tether. Anytime you have a futures contract traded on something, that something can be classified as a commodity. But if Tether were to pay interest, it doesn't today, but if the issuer of Tether said, we're now going to pay interest to holders, that would make it a security. So it could be both. Now, when it's both, then both agencies are involved in regulating it. So that is something people often don't understand about this issue of security versus commodity.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from the former CFTC chairman. I tell you, this gets very interesting, wondering how the judge is going to rule, understanding there are XRP futures out here. And I tell you, it is going to be remarkable to see this decision come down, because something can be a commodity or a security based on the way you package the offering. Ladies and gentlemen, again, really coming back to what we know about Howey. The oranges are not securities. XRP is not a security. But we see here the XRP Ledger doesn't wait for anyone, ladies and gentlemen. It has hit another remarkable milestone with 81 million Ledger closed in the early hours of today, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely remarkable. And we have even more here. I want you to look at this too, because don't forget about the fact that Ripple's foray into real estate tokenization with the electronic Hong Kong dollar, digital dollar. This is going to be remarkable. Think about it. The titling, the mortgage, the lending, all of this incorporating with Ripple's help. The Innovation Pilot Program is going to empower the users that tokenize their real estate assets and utilize them as collateral for loans. I tell you, the CBDC pilot test with this and real estate tokenization, I believe, is one of these areas where you can absolutely see the massive disruption in the best way, where it's going to disrupt not only the financial system, but real estate too. This is going to be so amazing when this really starts to take off, and I can't wait to see it as well. So make sure you look out for that. And by the way, whales have been buying up XRP left and right since the beginning of this year. 1.1 billion, in fact. How about that? And why might they be doing that? Well, maybe because they know that XRP is not a security. Maybe it's because they know there's going to be a favorable ruling, or at least they believe so, from Judge Torres. And if so, could we see XRP Diamond Pattern, which was covered back in March of this year by Eggrag Crypto, hit that $10 mark, ladies and gentlemen? We don't know, but we're closer than ever than finding out. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.